Hi, hello, I'm Ro. Welcome back to my channel. I don't really know how to start this video. Most of my videos, I just script them because they require a little bit of research, but this one I'm just kind of like freestyling it. So if it ends up being a mess, it's because I didn't really prepare. But as you can see by the title, I'm gonna be attempting to do a makeup look, which is going to be inspired on the Shatter Me book covers. Here's an example. This is the first book. We all know it. We all love it. Let's just get into it. I think I'm gonna be doing, I've been thinking about it, and I genuinely think that Ignite Me feels like the best option. Because it looks pretty, but it's not too complicated. But I'm not actually a makeup artist. By the way, I have a TikTok. I do a lot of talking in there, so go and follow me. I have makeup on, so I'm gonna be removing this eye only. Obviously, I have foundation and everything. We're not gonna be removing that because that's just not the point of the video. If this camera starts getting blurry, I'm sorry. Okay, the best way to start the eye situation is with a transition shade. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of orange on my eyelid. Speaking of Shatter Me, I haven't really finished the series. I read the first 3 books a while ago when the 4th book hadn't been announced yet, and then I read them again. And then the 4th book was announced, so I read them again. So I could read the 4th book, and I read the 4th book, but I don't really remember anything of it, so it's no, I didn't do it. So I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about Shatter Me, and I've gotten excited about it once again because everyone's talking about it. And I am very focused on actually finishing the series this year. What's next? Let's just get into the colors, shall we? I'm stalling here. I'm just gonna jump in with the green because I feel like I'm just gonna have to build up the orange eventually anyways. I don't have much to talk about Shatter Me. Let's just stick to book related stuff. I love fantasy books, paranormal. I do love romance from time to time as well. I started reading Caraval last week. I kind of started it as a homework situation because I wanted to do a styling video of it, and I've had that one on my bookshelf for such a long time. And I saw a TikTok of aesthetics of the series, and I was like, I need to read that. So I started it with the intention of doing a video on it. Then I realized that it was gonna be too difficult. Good thing is, I've actually been enjoying it. I was kind of scared because it is YA, and I do like reading YA. Cause I'm a little bit delusional. For example, Hush Hush, I read it recently because I did that video styling the characters. If you want to check that out, by the way. And they're in high school, but in my head I was like, no. From now on, you are in community college. I've decided that. Because if you think about it, a lot of these characters are 16, 17, but they're doing things that 16, 17-year-old people don't do. I wasn't doing those things when I was that age. So, it's very easy for me to just think that they're older than they're supposed to be. This green is very Shrek coded, which is kind of worrying me a little bit. But yeah, we're just gonna keep going. So going back to the sort of talk about YA and media that is more focused on teenager, I wanted to say that I finally finished Wednesday. I was super excited about the show for plenty of reasons. The first one being the fact that when I was younger, used to be such a huge fan of the Addams Family. So when they said that they were gonna release a show, and also Tim Burton was directing the show, and I do like some of his movies. So even though he has his issues, I was kind of excited, but then it ended up being a CW Riverdale TV show sort of thing. And I get that they're trying to make it more modern, but I feel like there were a lot of things that were kind of missing the mark. Jenna Ortega was great, and I feel like the Morticia and Gomez were very well cast, but the dialogue, the writing of it was just not hitting the way it was supposed to be. And I have this thing with Tim Burton that although I like his movies, he just feels like he's a very self-insert director. Some of his best works are when he, has based himself in sort of like his life. So you think about Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie, and like Nightmare Before Christmas. He's kind of like a fanfic director if you think about it. He would have been a great Wattpad author. Didn't he like do some like fanfic about like Edgar Allan Poe? It wasn't like fanfic, but it was like, it's Vincent, like that short film that's called Vincent, and it's like, it talks about, wait, it's not about Edgar Allan Poe. Whatever. He's the YN of like emo gothic vibes. Back to the makeup. I don't really know what else to do. I walked into this very confident, and now I do feel like a canary. Is that what they're called? The birds? It's kind of cute, right? It's giving Sesame Street character, but we're just gonna keep going. Let's just go with the flow. Sometimes the best results come from mistakes. That's what I, learned when I was in art school. I don't know how to draw clouds, but coming back to Shatter Me. If you guys watch Steph Borer, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. She's very popular, especially around the book like community. She just uploaded a video in where she did one of her wrap-ups and said that she had finished the Shatter Me series, which I've been waiting so long since she said that she was going to read them, but I am so scared about what she's going to say because she does read mainly like romance, and like I guess Shatter Me is more romance than dystopian, but it's still kind of different. Like there's something so personal when somebody critiques your favorite books. Like it feels worse than any insult. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I'm not that into like the book circles and book communities, because I've felt like ruins a little bit my reading motivation. Honestly, it doesn't really have that much to do with the fact that people don't like the same books that I do, because like that's gonna happen, it's whatever. But I have noticed that I like being a part of the book community sort of from the outside. And it's one of the reasons why I started doing this styling videos, because it adds two things I like, which is books and fashion, because I don't do reviews. For me, reading has always been about just having fun. It doesn't really take much for me to enjoy a book. I want to make that very clear. Like if it has me giggling, that's already like a 3 stars. So, I'm not really the best person to just like recommend books either. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of reading Caraval. I'm still not over The Folk of the Air. Like that, those books changed my brain chemistry forever. Like if you were to take a brain scan, you will see not only the depression, but there will be a section that would be like The Folk of the Air. So I blame Holly Black for that. It's entirely her fault. Why would she do that? Like, why would she do that? Why would she write something as amazing as that? I don't feel like the clouds are working. So we are just gonna move on. I do want to put a bit of like brownish color on closer to the corner to just add more depth, and hopefully that sort of ends the eyeshadow. So I know I told you I'm not the best person when it comes to giving book recommendations, but here I am giving you book recommendations. You're welcome. A book that I haven't seen on TikTok, and I feel like it's great if you like fantasy and enemies to lovers, but like they hate each other, okay? For the first 3 books, they hate each other, genuinely. This series is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. It has enemies to lovers, forced proximity, arranged marriage. There's also a little bit of like forbidden love in between. What else? There's also some questionable tropes in the first and second book. But I swear, like if you just like ignore them and just like get into like book 2 or 3, they're not there anymore. I personally didn't like the first book too much, but from the second onwards. But yeah, that's a good one that I haven't seen. Okay, that actually looks horrid from afar. I swear it's not that bad. Or you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe I should shut up from now on and just draw the damn flowers. You know, maybe it's not the best idea to go for like very harsh lines, because otherwise I'm gonna look like a spider web, and that's just not the goal. Oh my god. I don't think I should post this video. I do feel like that sort of liner kind of ruins things a little bit, because no, I mean, it's not just a liner, let's be real. Okay, I'm gonna do the lashes and we'll see what do we get. So, if you had any faith in me, well, I'm sorry. I don't need this right now. Okay, it was clear that I was not gonna be able to do the exact same thing. So I took out the things that I had on top and I ended up adding just like a little bit of glitter to my eyelid. That's the Shatter Me inspired eye makeup. The attempt eye makeup. Next time, maybe I'll manage to not be so ambitious and we can actually like end up with something cool. This was a girl failure. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to me rant. I'll see you next time with a better prepared video and where we don't end up looking like an absolute clown. So yeah, make sure to follow me on TikTok if you're interested. Everything's in the description, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!